I've also had people say wild stuff to me way too confident. Like, I'll be outside of a club and I'm just a happy-go-lucky guy. I'm just a smiley person. The amount of people who have come up to me while I'm outside of the club and been like, hey man, you want some crack cocaine? And I'm like, whoa, big assumption. Like, I don't feel like I give off crack cocaine energy. Maybe regular cocaine. Like, that's my vibe. Like, okay, you're having fun, but not like, what you doing? Like, I don't know. Seems a little much.
When do we decide that mashed potatoes are a different food than potatoes? Like, that's weird to me. Like people will be like, how many ways can you make a potato? You can make it into French fries, you can make it into chips, you can eat it as a potato, or you can have mashed potato. You can't do that with any other food. You can't be like, hey man, what you want to eat tonight? And he'd be like, I was feeling pizza, but I really don't feel like pizza. And he's like, oh, that's fine, I got some right here. Mashed pizza. It's a whole new meal.
Five Guys, one of my favorite burger restaurants, Five Guys. I went there earlier today. Here's what I don't like about Five Guys. I love Five Guys, their food is great, but if you ever order a large fry at Five Guys, they feel the need to warn you that it's for a family, and I don't appreciate the shaming. I don't appreciate them looking at me being like, sir, this is for a family. I'm like, I can eat it, it's fine, I ordered. Also, thing number two about that, who is this un-American that ordered a large fry, got home and was like, this is too much. They gave me too much for the $20 I paid for this meal. I refuse to eat this much. In concept, I like the idea of Halloween and dressing up and doing costumes, but I'm cheap and I'm lazy, so I never get to enact the ideas that I want to do. Like, it's like you dress up as something scary, and I feel like I got some great ideas. Here's what I felt like I could go as this year. This year, I'd like to buy like a human-sized dog man, put it over myself, and have a t-shirt that's rainbow colored that just say feelings. And then I go up to people and I just hit them with the other side of the neck. And I'm like, oh, you're gonna catch me. Oh, you're gonna get it.
The other one that's a classic scary thing is having to turn off a light in the basement. Like when it's daytime, you're like, yeah, whatever, I'm just turning off a light. In the nighttime, you turn into that little kid again. You're like, all right, I gotta time this. How do I get up? And for some reason, it always feels like you get up the stairs and you can feel somebody just barely. You're like, I got away from the ghost. Those are the moments that make me actually empathize. You know how everybody watches a scary movie and they like judge the girls who like trip over themselves? I'm like, whenever I go up the stairs, I always have that moment. So I'm like, I guess I'm that girl. I'm getting got because I never make it up the stairs clean. I'm never like, I'm always like, oh God, not like this. I don't understand how humans became the top creature. I feel like any creature, if they got even like 2% more intelligent, we fall to number 2 real quick. Like, humans are the only creature that's like afraid of spiders. Every other creature sees a spider and just eats it. We're the only ones that'll like leave a room because a spider is around. Like a hornet, right? Like hornets are so scary that if they were a little intelligent, like people will give up property for a hornet. Like you don't believe me? You paid thousands of dollars for your car. Let a hornet get in your car. I bet you give up that car real quick. I bet you start riding the bike everywhere. They're like, hey, why don't you ever drive your car? Oh, that's not my car anymore. That's the hornet's car. I don't own that car.
I'm working on my evil laugh, so when I do devilish things, then I can throw it out when I need it, you know? I don't feel like people incorporate their evil laughs enough. Just, you do a bunch of bad things in life and then you don't incorporate it, you know? Like, say I made out with some dude's girlfriend. I'd like to cap that off with an evil laugh. I'd like to be like, oh, this was nice. Just doing bad things, like illegally downloading a movie. Like just I'm working on it, throwing it out there. Maybe I do an illegal U-turn.
I feel like historically all monsters turn you into what they are. If you get bit by a vampire, you turn into a vampire. You get bit by a werewolf, you turn into a werewolf. You get bit by a zombie, you turn into a zombie. And I think it's just because there's something innately scary about gentrification. I think there's just something innately scary about becoming the enemy.
Anybody ever seen a kid do something so amazing it makes you feel bad about yourself? Actually, let me rephrase that. You ever see a kid be so good at something and you realize you will never be that good at anything in your life? I went on a date with a girl and we were ice skating. And there was this little 9-year-old Asian girl tearing up the ice. I mean, she was doing Olympic level skating. She was jumping in the air, hitting 360s, landing, no wobble. Every single move she did was a 10 out of 10. It was so upsetting, I got jealous of this little girl in the way that I almost called CPS. I was like, there's no way you were born that talented. Somebody beat that talent into you. You don't wake up that good. That was abuse. That's the only way Michael Jackson hit those moonwalks so smooth.
But there was a lot of stuff trying to get me to go. There were a lot of Facebook posts trying to shame me into being a part of the movement. One of the ones that got me the worst was this one that said, it was a post of a black and white poster from the civil rights movement, right? And on the text it said, won't you feel bad when you have to tell your kid that during the Black Lives Matter movement you did nothing? And I thought, no, I won't feel bad. You know why I won't feel bad? Because if I happen to have such a nerd of a little kid that's going around like, Dad, where were you during the Black Lives Matter movement? Besides telling them to shut up, I would just do what any parent would do in that situation, and I would lie. I would lie and tell them that I went and I would be on the front lines, because that is what you do. And what are they gonna do? What, go run to their mom and be like, Mom, was he really on the front lines? You know what she's gonna say? Yes, because I lied to her too.
I didn't realize it costs money to adopt a kid. And that's fascinating to me because we always walk around and talk like you can't put a price on a human life. I guess that's not true if you're an orphan. I guess it's like you put a very exact price on a human life. You ain't got no parents? Yeah, you're like $4.99. And it really lets you know where each one of your societies fall as far as racism. Like I feel like if you go to a country and you want to know what race is on top, you just go to an orphanage and like, what's your most expensive orphan? Whatever race kid they bring out, you're like, oh, okay, got it, that's who's in charge here. Tarzan, the Disney movie, recently bothered me because the first antagonist in Tarzan is a leopard that Tarzan defeats, like he kills the leopard. That's great, that's beautiful for Tarzan. My problem with it is Tarzan saves a family of gorillas from this leopard. It only takes one gorilla to defeat a leopard. They don't need Tarzan. Like if it's a family of gorillas, I just feel like the gorillas were throwing Tarzan a bone. They were trying to be nice to him. They were like, hey man, he can't do what we do. He can't even pick stuff up with his feet. How about next time something comes into town, we let him take this one. You know, like Tarzan protecting a family of gorillas from a leopard is like me protecting Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson from an ant. It's like, watch out, Dwayne. No need to thank me with $1 million.
Here's how you know you're in a poor place in life. Anybody else ever go through that phase of life where you just try to make ramen noodles into something different than ramen noodles? The amount of different combinations I've tried with ramen noodles. I'm like, it's ramen noodles, but with hot dogs in it. It's ramen noodles, but Kraft single cheese melted on top. Oh, it's horrible. Don't do that one. That one turns out, whatever the combination of chemicals in ramen noodles is, deconstructs cheese on a cellular level that I never knew possible. I was trying to get it on my fork. I was like, what is this? I've never seen cheese goop like this before. This is insane. Oh. I can't afford to not eat it.
We all don't we live in the future. Why doesn't every toilet come automatically covered with toilet paper or something? Why do I have to makeshift take pieces of toilet paper and make a covering? I don't know what I think I'm protecting myself from when I put that thin piece of paper between my butt and the seat. Like this is what'll stop the disease. The AIDS virus is I'm gonna get toilet paper. The easiest, thinnest thing, literally water rips this stuff apart, but a disease can't get through.
but I do it. It's a force of habit, and it's another reason why it takes me a long time in the bathroom.
I always was fascinated with the future. When I was young, I was always like, man, I can't wait to grow up and see like what kind of artists come out when I'm an adult. I can't wait to see it when they're the same age as me. Like what kind of interesting artists are we gonna get? Like I can't wait to see the first gay rapper. That'll be cool. And then we got the first like outwardly gay rapper. We got Lil Nas X, and I'm excited about that. I like that because like I want to see him get into a beef with somebody and have like diss tracks written, because like 50% of rappers' diss tracks are like calling the other guy gay. Like, what are you gonna do to Lil Nas X? Just like, yeah, man, you probably have sex with dudes, and he's like, yep. Like that's gonna be every single track he would make back would be like, you right, you right. Suck on your junk, I might. Like, I don't know.
A lot of people talk about social media and they're like, oh, social media is a fake place where people pretend to be happy and they curate their lives to show you all the happy stuff that's going on. It's not real. It's all happy fakeness. And maybe if you're on Instagram, that's true. But anybody been to Facebook recently? Like, my Facebook timeline is sadness all the time. It's bad. Like, I think they should rename Facebook to Sad Facebook. It shouldn't be face. They should take out the F and just put a sad face emoji and it'd be Sad Facebook. Like, that's the entire website to me.
Just when people talk about having superpowers, they go to the most basic things like flight and like reading minds. And I don't understand wanting to read somebody's mind after 2008 because we have Facebook. And if you've seen the stuff that people think it's okay to put there, I don't want to know what's going on in your head. Like I've looked at some of my friends' Facebook posts and I've been like, well, somebody definitely went back in time and changed our universe because I'm not supposed to be friends with this person.
I've been watching a lot of YouTube, and sometimes when you're watching YouTube videos in your sidebar, YouTube recommends you things that you might like because other people like that stuff. I purposely don't watch certain videos because I know it's gonna mess up my algorithm. Like, I don't want to have that problem where you click a video and then for the rest of your life you gotta watch a bunch of videos you've already watched, trying to get it back in order because you watched one thing. I'll see a video that's like, lion versus bear. I'm like, lion versus bear? That sounds dope. And I'll click it and I'm like, oh, this thing is 30 seconds and they just walk past each other. Now I'm getting a bunch of animal versus videos for the next 30 days. This is ridiculous. I always end up turning to my algorithm like it's a woman that I cheated on. I'm like, listen, algorithm, that was a mistake. It was late at night, I wasn't thinking straight. You gotta understand, algorithm. I'm not that kind of guy, you know what I am.
I wish all online videos had to be honest, like World Star Hip Hop videos. I have never been lied to in the title of a Hip Hop World Star video. There is no clickbait on World Star Hip Hop. Every World Star Hip Hop gives you everything you need to know in the title, and all you gotta do is wait. You just press play and wait, and everything will happen, no matter how ridiculous the situation may be, you know? Like 13-year-old goes into a McDonald's and punches an employee with a mop because she wanted a Whopper. You're like, what? Press play on that video. You're like, how did she punch somebody with a mop? And sure enough, she goes over, breaks a mop, puts it on her hand like a boxing glove, and you're like, that's wild. Thank you, World Star Hip Hop, for your honesty.
I feel like the Pet Sweet Shoes say a lot about how we love. I feel like most dudes like dogs because we like our love dumb and easy. Like, you want something to love you with the littlest amount of effort. Just like, I exist, I love you forever. You just keep showing up, buddy, you got me. And cats, I feel like girls like cats because they like convincing themselves that something loves them. Like you ever see a cat owner, it's just like a girl with a boyfriend. It's like, no, like, look, it loves me. Look, watch, hey, come here. Okay, it's in a mood right now, but like, when you're not around, it's like on me, it's crazy.
So I decided one night, a couple months ago, that I would click on the live stream of this girl that I met out and I was interested in. And sure enough, I got lucky. she was doing exactly what I said. She was playing hot R&B music in the background. She had on a tight white tank top shirt with her nipples kind of popping through it, and she was like twerking and dancing in her living room for no reason. It was weird. And what only made it weirder is because this took place in 2020. In the background was her friend, not being sexy at all, ranting about how the COVID mask thing, you don't really gotta wear them. She's in the background like, you know, you technically could go into Walmart without wearing it. It's against the law for them to force you to wear it. It's just a mandate. The mandate is an expectation. I'm like, it's really hard for me to be turned on when she's making great political points.
I've been in a little bit of a drought. I've been in a little bit of a drought in my dating life. Been having some struggles in the hookup world with ladies. So much so that I've been playing this game, Is She Hot? Because I can't trust myself anymore. That I'm attracted to the women I'm attracted to genuinely. Like I've been finding myself, I look at a hot girl and then I ask myself the question, is she hot or just wearing yoga pants? Like is she hot or just showing a lot of skin? Like, is she hot or just around?
People like to give dudes advice on dating and have no idea what they're talking about. As a man who's been single for 7 years, I hate the general advice that's given to us. One of the classic ones that's thrown out is, just go ahead and shoot your shot, bro. The worst thing she could say is no. It's not. I've been rejected in way worse ways than no. I've gone up and said hello to a woman, and legitimately, I walked up, I said, hi, and she turned to her girlfriend, grabbed her by her waist, and was like, we're gay. And then they started making out. And I was like, oh, okay. Later that night, I saw her messing with some other dude, and I was like, okay, so you were just like gay at me. Like, you know how unattractive I felt in that moment? I was like, oh, I'm so ugly to you. You were like, I'm done with your entire gender for right now. I didn't like that.
Here's again, I'll talk about it in terms of like the two different versions of me. As me who like, there's the me that like watches porn. There's like porn me, you know, the guy who's like into pretty much anything. Like he's like, yeah, like it's hot when she says daddy. Like that's cool. Me in real life, I don't want that in the bedroom. If a girl calls me daddy in real life, I'm like, you gotta go to therapy. We gotta sort this out. I can't be dealing with whatever that was. Like there are some kinks that I feel like if you got it easy, right? Like if you got a humiliation kink, you're killing it. Like you came up all sevens, because that's really easy to pull off, you know? Like to get off on humiliation, just go sit in a public bathroom and leave the door unlocked. Like you got it. It's a guaranteed moment. Somebody will come in and you'll be like, oh no! Great. Or maybe, like, I wonder if that type of thing compounds, you know? Like, the more people you get humiliated by, the harder you finish. like I imagine you, like, get a group of people together, you're like, hey, everybody, rounds of shots on me. I'm gonna go get them for you. You go over to the bartender, you get your bunch of shots. As you walk over to the table, you trip over yourself, fall, all the stuff falls on you. You're like, oh no, I spilled all the stuff. How embarrassing. And they're like, are you coming? And he's like, yeah. Isn't that also embarrassing? So that's easy. There was one manga. For those of you that don't know, manga is pretty much anime in comic form. There was one manga in my school library called Ranma 1/2. Ranma 1/2 was an amazing manga where it was a fighting comedy style manga. It was a great show. The problem with Ranma 1/2 is its artist is kind of a pervert. So every 10 or so pages, there was just a drawing of a topless girl. You know how hard it is to explain to a teenager that you're not looking at something that has boobs in it for the boobs? Like I was sitting there like, no dude, the fight scenes are really good. There's like jumps in here that are pretty funny. Okay, these two pages are stuck together, but that's not me. I'm sick of Walmart not acting like it's Walmart. Like I saw an ad recently that Walmart now offers in-home delivery. And I'm like, are you out of your mind? You know who goes to your store, and you know who works at your store. Do you think I'm gonna let a Walmart employee into my house? with access to my kitchen and my bedroom? No. Like what if it's their last day? What if they decided before they got put on in-house delivery that they were done working for Walmart that day, and then they come into my house, they're like, yeah, your groceries are cool, but what you already got? What can I take home with me? And I've decided that my favorite monster from Godzilla is Mothra. Because Mothra is the stupidest of all the monsters. Mothra is a giant moth, which really feels like a monster that solves itself. Because it's a giant moth. We all know that moths are attracted to light, and the sun exists. Here's my real world. This is how we would really interact if Mothra showed up. Oh my gosh, it's Mothra, the giant moth. Oh no, he's blocking out the sun. Oh, he's going away. He's heading towards the, oh, what a dumb creature. That's, wow.
Lying is so much fun. I don't care how old you are. Lying is never not funny. It's never not a good bit. One of my favorite games to play with my friends is like Google It. It's a game I created where you tell a straight up lie, straight face, and you try to get your friend to Google the answer. And then you call them out on how dumb they are for Googling the answer. This is a legitimate thing I tried to get away with my friends. We were on a Skype call, and in the middle of it, I just decided to throw out there real nonchalant. I was like, yeah, it's crazy, Bill Cosby died. And I just kept talking, and we just moved on in conversation. And then out of the blue, my friend went, Bill Cosby isn't dead. I was like, of course he's not dead, you idiot. You Googled it? What'd you Google? Did you Google Bill Cosby dead? You loser. Idiot. The worst part about it is, and I think this is universal, like, you ever be at a stranger's house and have to figure out how their shower works by yourself? Like you always run into that shower that has never existed ever. Like every shower you've ever used has a clearly marked H for hot and C for cold, and then the little pull-up that makes it a shower. For some reason, you always run into the one that's 3 knobs and none of them are labeled. You just gotta turn them and hope something happens. Like, okay, this one turns it on. This one, then you gotta wait for it to get hot. It's like, okay, is it getting hotter? Feels cold kind of, I guess, maybe I'll turn the other one. No, this is definitely colder. I think this one's colder. Okay, I'm gonna go back to the first one. And then you realize they don't have hot water. You guys figure out the bathroom? They say, yeah, that one doesn't work. Oh, cool. Me and Alejandro don't say hi to each other like normal people. Me and Alejandro do what I have now classified as drive-by improv bits, where like I see him and we both become characters that we are not. So I'm walking through the kitchen and I'm like, ugh, who's that stinky man in my kitchen? And he's like, it's me, the stinky man. I'm gonna stink up all your stuff. I'm like, don't stink up my stuff, stinky man. What's it gonna take to not stink up my stuff? He's like, you're gonna have to give me 4 pineapples. I'm like, is it okay if they come out of my butt, stinky man? He's like, that's the only way I like them. And I'm like, here are your 4 pineapples, stinky man. Excellent. Now I'll go to my stink hole. This is all happening while I walk to get ice water. And then I walk back to my bedroom. I only realized this is weird when I pulled my phone out of my pocket and the friend who was on the phone in increasing panic is like, are you okay?
Hi, I'm Rimpson. For more stuff like that, follow me on my Instagram.